Aloha, my dudes, and welcome back to the Mikey and the Press Pass podcast. I'm Mike.
I'm David.
How's your week?
Not as eventful as it had been. I'm not working as much, which gives me extra time to do other things that I like to do. So that's cool.
Hang out with your cat.
I think his teeth are getting fucked up. I had to brush his teeth the other day. It was
Really?
so caked with I was like, he's just sitting there. He was like, you had like a fucking, his tooth was hanging out. I was like, why is your tooth all fucking gray and like gnarled up with fucking food? It's like, all right. So I was like, fucking brushing his teeth. His mouth was all bleeding, like shooting like fucking like peroxide and water in his mouth.
You ever do like the frozen toothbrush thing? They get brain freeze and they kind of like malfunction.
No, I don't like torture my animal, man.
Well, they like it.
they like frozen toothbrushes?
Well, if you like brush your teeth, they're like, oh wow, this is cool. And then like they get brain freeze and freak out. Well,
why would they like getting brain freeze?
Whatever. They continue to do that though. Like, oh, a toothbrush. Let me lick it some more.
No, I don't know. I didn't think that you would have to brush animals' teeth. But I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe he's just getting fucking old, man. I don't know. But yeah, so I hang out with a cat. That's cool. Started watching Cowboy Bebop with my old lady.
Bebopping along?
Bebopping along. Only a few episodes in, but yeah, I missed that show. Still holds up, man. The show's just as good as it was back in the fucking late 90s.
Yeah, I keep forgetting I have to watch that.
I forget how much the intro song gets stuck in my head too.
Yeah, I do know the intro song.
Nope.
No? Oh, okay.
Then it goes into the jazzy. Yeah.
Cool.
Gets in my brain. Yeah, I don't know. I've been checking out this new YouTube channel that I like called
Mikey and the Press Pass, yeah.
It's called Mikey and the Press Pass on YouTube.
Whoa.
And
subscribe, guys.
It's just like this one good looking dude and this other dude that got like this big dick energy. So it's like it's a combination.
Which one's which, guys?
You guys leave that to you guys to figure out. No, it's called the Antibot. So she's like a anti-MLM YouTuber and
MLM,
multi-level marketing.
Oh, okay.
Also known as pyramid schemes, more or less. They're more or less pyramid schemes. I think what it was is I was looking for, because we were talking about the World Financial Group article thing that I did a while back, and I was like, hey, did you ever read that? And you were like, no, you never sent it to me. And I was like, so I was looking for it on my drive. I was like, what the fuck did I do with that? I was like, I know I saved it. It was like a fucking 5,000 word article or whatever I wrote. I was going to send it to you so you could read it. And then so that just kind of sent, like, I was in my mind, and then it popped up, and I was like, oh, she's the wife of another YouTuber that I follow. What's his name? Genetically Modified Skeptic. And I was watching one of his videos, and she was on there, and I was like, yeah, check her videos out. Like, she's all like anti-MLM and whatever, and she's not like obnoxious in general, you know.
So if you get 5 other people and they get other 5 people.
No, she's against those things, but she's not like an asshole, which is part of what I like about her and her husband, is that neither of them are assholes, but they're no less biting in their criticisms. So that sent me down watching a bunch of her videos, and then that led me to watch Betting on Zero, which is like a documentary that came out a couple of years ago about Herbalife. And my brother's mother, she did that for a bit while when they were young, and so I remembered her doing the Herbalife, and I was like, oh, so I'll watch this documentary. So I watched that documentary. So that was good times, fun stuff. I don't know. Do you guys have Herbalife out here? I don't even know.
I've seen it. I've never met anybody that's done it.
Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty big thing in the Midwest. So,
or
at least in Michigan. I don't know about the Midwest on the whole.
Is that like the what's that one with the pink Cadillacs? Is it Mary Kay? Yeah.
Yeah, Mary Kay. Like Herbalife is pretty big, but it's not quite on the same level as like Mary Kay. Mary Kay, Amway. There's another really big one. What's the other really big pyramid scheme? But it's definitely bigger than like pure romance, which you've probably heard
Oh,
of.
no, what is that?
Oh, it's just it's like sex toys
Mm.
and shit like that. Oils.
Oils, you say?
Yeah, it's kind of like to tap into like a young demographic of ladies.
Demographic, you say?
Yes, demographic. Or young living. Essential oils are almost all pyramid schemes. So.
Well, it's essential.
It's so essential. Yeah, it's like a misnomer. It's like you shouldn't even call it that. You just call it snake oil because that's what it is.
It might be essential.
It's not essential.
Whoa.
It's not medicine, so it can't be essential. It can't be essential. So that was fun. I don't know. Just kind of thinking of like MLM stuff on the brain is a hopscotch from one thing to another, like a hopping across rocks on a pond, and then like.
You got the red twine, like you put on your cork board. Then here, the money trail, follow it.
Yeah, what am I, McConaughey and True Detective now? This is all connected.
It's like a flat circle. Sometimes just a flat circle.
A flat circle. To the point where it was like I forgot what started it.
Yeah.
And like I never even found that article. I just forgot like to fucking go find it. Just like
Up for like 5 hours, like 6 in the morning. Ugh.
No, this is like a days long journey of just me like watching all these different things and stuff. So I don't know what's been keeping you busy this week.
Pretty much same old. We played bowl late yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
That was not so fun. Shot pretty poorly.
You won the last game, right? Last in.
Yeah.
Sort of situation. That was something. Yeah, I wasn't shooting so hot either. I was shooting better on Monday when I went.
And then we went to Aloni. I haven't been to Aloni since we podcasted last time.
Yeah, you've like it never dawned on me that you've never actually been there when it was like open.
Yeah, when
there were customers
yeah.
there.
And it's like kind of shocking because it's like the opposite. Whatever you think of West Coast is like the opposite right now. There's just like a ton of people. Like people are inside having fun.
It's pretty atypical though. It is not usually that busy.
Oh, it isn't?
Not usually that busy. Usually there's a decent amount of people, and we might even get to capacity at any given time of day. But it's probably because I work day shift, so most people are just kind of on their phone or they're working. They're really just they're not like
It felt like a house party vibe almost.
Yeah, well,
because the guy that's like working behind the counter is like, "Hey man, how you doing? Look at you, come on."
Well, I think because a lot of the guys that come out for the cookout. Like, so Aloni is kind of like the black cigar shop. So like all the black guys.
Yeah, you weren't kidding when you said that. I was like, okay, whatever. And I was like, no, it is a black cigar shop.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's like we're all like all the black guys like come to hang out because there's like there's black guys there and they all like know one another and they all like get
like
along.
A network.
Yeah, and they just
like Adam's little Jewish network.
Yeah, so they come in and the guys just like assimilate in and like there's just like a certain vibe that feels kind of like a family cookout. And so they all just kind of hang out and vibe off one another. But that's not typical. I mean, usually it's kind of quiet outside. A bunch of guys might be arguing about basketball or something. But on Friday nights, they're like a whole different animal. It's like, yeah, it's fucking party time. It's like, all right, yeah, good times.
Kind of remind you what West Coast was like on Friday, Saturday nights. But yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah, like back in the day. Back when we used to have the grill going and shit, or whatever they used to
Caesar
do.
cues.
Caesar cues? Oh, because Caesar was well, it wasn't always him, right? Sometimes it'd be Lanny and Rick on the grill.
No, for the most part, it was Caesar. Like Lanny and Rick were during events.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, we get those chicken strips. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Pretty good deal.
Yeah, it was like $3. I'm
Yeah.
like, what? How can you? I can't even get this at the store for that cheap. Like, well, we know a guy.
Anyway, watched a couple of new series. Well, just finished up this week's episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Pretty good still. Enjoying it a lot. Watched some Netflix and HBO Max. Watched on Netflix was it Operation Varsity Blues, the college admission scandal, and it's basically just talking heads with reenactments of people talking on their phones. That's basically the whole story. Like, all right, it's just rich people find a way. That's basically the story, and how corrupt the college system is.
It's because it's not very cinematic. People just like, hey, here's some money.
Can I give you money to help my kid get into college? Yeah, we'll work something out.
Yeah, cool.
Uh-huh.
Let me know you got my
Yeah.
number.
And this whole thing with I guess they hired someone to take the LSAT test for some of these students, and like the media blew it up like, this guy's a genius, he got a perfect score on it. And then the actual people that work in that industry is like, yeah, but it's a test for like 12th graders. I would expect an adult to know most of this test. Not a genius.
Yeah. Like if you can get a perfect score for high schoolers, that if you're a high schooler, that might be impressive.
Yeah. Toddler wipes his own ass. Amazing.
Yeah. Like I'm sure if I took the SATs now, I probably could get a perfect score. Maybe not. I don't know if it's
that'd be kind of fun to do.
Scale with age. Actually, I'd probably get a worse score than I got the first time around because I'm less academically exercised, right? Like someone said something.
It's like, yeah, you're like, yeah, I used to play basketball in high school. You go out there and just fuck yourself up.
No, I just think it's more that the things that you study, the more recently you've studied them, the fresher they are, the more you know them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like playing, like, oh, I used to play basketball in high school. I'm still pretty good, I think. You go out there, it's like, nope, you're almost close to 40 and you never played basketball since high school, and you get fucked up.
But a lot of that would just have to do with being out of shape, though, right?
Yeah, same thing with your mind. Like you're not used to stretching those muscles, mind-wise.
Yeah, I don't think that's what I'm getting at. What I'm saying is the log of information, because I'm not saying that like. Because the SATs are not like an IQ test where they stretch how you think.
Yeah.
Right? Your critical thinking skills, your reasoning skills, all of those things I'm sure are way stronger than they were when I was a kid.
Yeah, when you take those like pre-SATs, they're basically, you're learning how to take the test. When was the last time you took a test like that?
Exactly.
Do you know all those tricks and rules and all that shit? Probably not.
That's because of my memory. Like, it's not a matter of like how well I think, like how well your body works, for instance.
Well, the analogy still stays the same. It's like you have that basketball mind, you know how to move and use, tactics in basketball, but your body, your physical meat space is not used to it. Just like how you're not used to taking those tests.
Yeah, but like, I don't know about you, but like when I go to play hockey or something, it's like,
I could have done something like that, but I don't have that stopping power anymore.
Yeah, more often than not, it's that my body just doesn't adhere. It's not that I don't know how to do those things. It's just my body just doesn't cooperate with me. It's just a bigger disconnect.
Yeah, mind-body disconnect when you get older. Whoa, yeah.
Some oldness. But yeah, so I probably wouldn't do as well because I haven't studied geometry as recently. So I don't even remember fucking anything about geometry. Period. Right? Pythagoras' theorem. That's about all I remember from fucking geometry.
I know the name of it.
Yeah. Well, it's the triangles, two sides of a fucking triangle add up to the third side of the triangle. But that's it. I couldn't tell you what the formula is or anything like that. I probably can barely do basic algebra anymore. I could solve for X if it's like 1 plus blank equals 2. Like, what is X? Oh, it's 1. I got algebra. But really it's not. It's just deductive reasoning. I don't remember how to do algebra. I just know how to deduce things better than I used to. So, but
another thing I just finished up right before I came here is it's a HBO Max series. It's called Search Party. Description is Search Party is a dark comedy about self-absorbed 20-somethings who become entangled in an anonymous mystery when a former college acquaintance suddenly disappears. But the thing is, it's just like, these people are fucking terrible people. And then it's just like kind of wrapped up in like a Netflix mystery of missing persons.
I thought you just said it was HBO Max.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. But it's like those series, like, the countless series they have on Netflix, those things.
Like Missing Persons?
The mystery shows, mystery box shows.
Oh, okay. I'm just you said terrible people. I'm just imagining like John Ralphio and his sister from Parks and Rec.
It's not very far off.
But is it a scripted show?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then it has the girl who played Maybe is like the star.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I think we're gonna plow through that series pretty fast, I think. And they're pretty short episodes. They're like 20 minutes long. I'm not sure how many seasons it is. It seems like it's 3 or 4, maybe. I don't know. I gotta look.
It's an HBO Max original?
Mm-hmm.
Has HBO Max been around that long?
Well, I think it's an HBO original series.
Oh, but like they have,
But Max
they,
is
they,
just their...
they have HBO Max shows now that they like
Oh, do they
brand
now?
Yeah, they brand them as HBO Max originals.
Oh, okay.
Because like when you look at like Sopranos or Oz or 6 Feet Under, they don't say HBO Max originals; they just say HBO originals. So I don't think that they're different. It seems like HBO is just HBO Max now. They're not like two networks, are they?
No.
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
But it's like
It's just their streaming arm.
but their new stuff, they're branding HBO Max original movies and TV shows and shit, which is kind of weird to me, but
Yeah.
creates confusion.
Yeah.
Like I almost made me wonder if it was like Tommy Hilfiger and Tommy Gear. Like it's a Tommy Gear.
Oh, I don't know.
It's like it's like made by the same company, but it's like a not as good kind of like fancy.
It's like what you get at Ross or something like that.
Yeah, Tommy Gear. It's like
Or like those was it Levi Denizens? They're like Target or whatever branded Levi jeans.
oh yeah. It's yeah. That's the thing. That's a weird fucking thing about Levi's, man. Is it's like you could go. Levi has so many different. They've been in the fucking jean game for so long. They have so
Some
many.
say it's like the first jeans ever made.
Yeah, but like you can go to like Target and get like a $30 pair of Levi's, and for the longest time, I just thought that's what Levi's were. Like they were just like you got them at Meijer or Target or whatever. But come to find out, like you can buy like $150 pair of Levi's. They make those.
Yeah.
And everything between. Things that are like $60 and things that are like $40. It's like, man, they sure be making some fucking jeans.
Yeah.
I was just like, just looking at their catalog of jeans. It's like for one pair, like it's 511 slim fit jeans, right? I was like, okay, maybe I'll see about fucking getting some Levi's. And I was just looking at it, and there were like this one pair of pants, which is like one of like 15 fits or something they have. And that's not even controlling for like stretch denim, shrink to fit denim, and then like their standard fit denim, right? Which is 3 materials, and then like 12 fits or something. And then like for any one, it's like there's 511. There were like 26 different colors. I was like, holy fucking, this is just like an infinite catalog of jeans. It's like I didn't know that it like went that deep, but it's just like okay, it's just like Levi's or not Levi's, but yeah, apparently it's like
Yeah. And then I got to watch. There's nothing to do really at West Coast this morning shift, so I turned on Zack Snyder's Justice League.
my uncle said
4-hour and 2-minute movie.
He said it wasn't bad. He was like it was fine.
Yeah. Okay. All right. There's a scene where Lewis Lane is getting coffee. It's in slow mo.
That's pretty bad.
It's like what?
Is something happening like
She's just
outside?
sad. She's just sad.
Oh, okay.
She's sad. That's why it has to be in slow mo.
Well, no, I could see like okay, say if something were happening outside the building.
There's lots of stuff you could do in slow mo. I don't know when the Flash is doing stuff. Maybe you can put stuff in slow mo. That's cool. He does that. He does that.
Hey man, I told you that I watched this fucking video essay. Or it wasn't even a video essay. It was just like I think it was a CinemaSins thing. And he was like, hey, I went through and I did the math on 300 that if you just played everything that's in slow motion at full rate, the movie would be like 28 minutes shorter than it is.
Yeah, you could probably take an hour off of Justice League. Seriously, you could.
Zack Snyder likes slow motion, man. I don't get it.
And I don't get like he basically like if he actually made that a theatrical release, you blew your wad in one movie to make 3 other movies. Like you could do that Cyborg like origin story, Flash origin story, all this other stuff. And then it's like, nope, just blow your wad.
The big question I have is like,
I'm like, why?
why the fuck does anybody like Zack Snyder?
I don't know.
He's fucking doesn't make any good. The only serviceably decent movie,
300.
no, Watchmen.
That was good.
Watchmen was pretty fucking solid.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
The whole thing where he's like, yeah, no spaghetti monsters. We're just going to have act like Dr. Manhattan did it.
yeah, that's actually probably a better ending, really. But the thing is that, what's fucked up is like, I remember reading somewhere that Zack Snyder agreed to do Watchmen to, quote, save it from the Terry Gilliams of the world. And my instant thought was, Terry Gilliam would have made a way better fucking Watchmen than that guy did. Because he's just a better director. And so, I can't think of a single thing that's not his thing either. It's like a fucking... It just doesn't feel... I mean, I guess it kind of does feel like a Zack Snyder movie. But like, I don't get why people fucking like him. His fucking movies are garbage. He's just like...
Yeah, there's like a whole epilogue thing at the end. I'm like, what's the point of this? I don't know. Whatever.
And see, it's not... The thing is, man, it's just like... Zack Snyder is the most confounding fucking director to me. Because he's terrible. And
it's not like he
him.
understands the source material either. It's like... It feels like some teenager like wrote this movie or directed this movie.
He's a fucking awful director.
I don't
get it. It's not even like Tarantino, right? Like, people will say that some people will talk about Tarantino as if he's like Hitchcock, and I don't. I don't agree with that assessment, but I do acknowledge.
Who says these things?
Basically, anybody in our age group or 7 to 8 years younger. That
compare him to Hitchcock?
No, I didn't say they compare him to Hitchcock. I said they talk about him as if he is Hitchcock. The likelihood that a lot of these people even know who fucking Hitchcock is just a but they just talk about him like he's like one of the greatest directors of all time. And I think that that's largely overhyped, but I won't say that he's not a good director. He's a very good director. Or who's another one like that? Where Kevin Smith is a good example. Like, I don't, whatever, yeah. But like, Dogma is a fucking good movie. Clerks is an entertaining movie, right? Like, so he's done some stuff. I get it.
Yeah.
But like, I can't think of a single fucking thing that Zack Snyder did that just didn't fucking stink up the whole room. He's terrible, and people like him a lot. And I don't. It's like, whatever.
I think he does bro movies pretty good. That's why he like gets so much fanfare for it.
Maybe, yeah.
So, dude bro.
That's fine, but don't talk about him like he's some auteur or some shit.
I don't know.
Like, if you like Zack Snyder, you're a Philistine. Like, that's just all there is to it. That'd be fine. It'd be like saying you like Michael Bay movies, right? I like Conan the Barbarian, but I don't pretend it's high art. I'm not the director, right?
Yeah, I guess he is the like a new Michael Bay, but with more slow-mo.
Well, and it's more...
And it's like I was watching the movies, like, oh, there's like Hammerhead Thanos now. He's cool. And they got like Underwater Thor. He's cool. They got Black Iron Man. He's cool.
Black Iron Man?
Yeah. Like,
I mean, is it really
Ben Affleck makes a good Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, isn't Batman really Iron Man? He's like the Iron Man.
He's Tony Stark for sure.
Yeah,
but there's a guy, the cyborg. He's basically Iron Man. He flies around. He's in a metal suit, but it's part of his body.
Yeah, like, but yeah.
And then Wonder Woman's basically Captain Marvel.
Yeah, like, what are her powers? How do they work?
Yeah,
like, I don't understand.
Yeah, there's some cool elements. Like, I think the first hour and a half when it's just them talking about all the other superheroes is pretty cool. But it's like they're just kind of like all simps for Superman. They're just like cucked up for him. Like, we need Soup back. Come on, we can't do anything. And he kind of proves it. He just beats the shit out of all the other dudes. And
because
beats the shit out of like Steppenwolf, like Hammerhead Thanos.
Yeah, I've always said that about the Justice League. It's just called the fucking useless league.
Yeah,
like Superman is 90%
it should be like
of the
Superman and the Justice League.
It should just be Superman and Company. That's what it should be. Superman and Friends, not even Company. Company would imply that like they're bringing something to the table.
Because it makes sense with that whole, what was that that storyline where they find out that Batman was creating all these weapons to fight all the other people in the Justice League.
Oh yeah. That was cool.
Yeah, but like there's like scenes in the movie where like he was like totally unequipped for like certain actions of Superman's. Like when he comes back to life and he kind of forgets who he is and just wants to fuck people up. And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Come on, Kent, remember me? I told you, do you bleed?
Yeah.
Because you could die. Don't hurt me."
Well, I don't know how it is. I didn't see the new one, but the only reason in the comics that Batman has like contingency plans on how to like destroy all the people from the Justice League because he's like a regular dude among superheroes, right? So he's a little fucking paranoid.
Like, oh, hey, what's up, guys?
But like Superman gives him some kryptonite. Like, here you go, this shit, I can't deal with this shit. So if I ever get out of line, Batman's like, thanks, bro. So it's like basically like not only only Superman can take out Superman really in any real sense of the word. So it's like, yeah, he's just useless. Like, why do I care about all the other personalities in the Justice League? They're fucking.
It just seems like in the movie he's like rich enough to facilitate all these things for these people, making jets and all this technology.
Yeah, I mean, I like Batman.
Batman's cool.
Batman's very cool, but like as far as
when the scope is so big, like a big Earth-ending event, he's not really that important. He's just a rich dude.
Yeah, he's not important at all because he's like,
he's like the street level fucking. It's
fighter, it's part of the problem with Captain America and the Avengers. It's like, well, what the fuck does Captain America do compared to like Thor and the Hulk?
Yeah, but like he has leadership skills, I guess.
Sure.
Batman doesn't really have that.
Yeah. That's why I like Wolverine. So Wolverine can't do shit on like a global scale, but you just can't kill him.
Yeah, just throw him into space and he'll probably live.
Yeah, he's just like, you
gotta fight the sun.
Yeah, you gotta fight the sun, Wolf. He's like,
come on, bub. And I hate this fucking shit where like the superheroes like say their names. It's like, who are you? Some people call me Martian Manhunter. Like, okay.
If I didn't know Zack Snyder, that's what it would be like. Martian Manhunter. Pull back. Slow-mo, heavy saturation. It's like, fucking who cares, dude? The Martian... I never really understood that name. Matt, what's Martian Manhunter about? Like, fucking... Let me know. Why is his name that?
He's a manhunter, and he's from Mars.
Is he a manhunter?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Like, I don't fucking... It's just like a weird looking... fucking Goku-esque looking thing.
Well, that's why I enjoy like the Marvel stuff, because they don't really say their name. They don't like, oh, it's the fucking the Red Witch or whatever the fuck her name is. Scarlet Witch.
No. Well, see, Wolverine's name at least makes sense.
That's his like nickname, but no one calls him Wolverine. Like, it's the Wolverine. That's his nickname, but that's not his.
See, but that's not his nickname. It's like his weapon. It's like a project, right? It's like a government code name that he had.
So but everyone just calls him Logan.
Yeah, because that's his name.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's not his name. His name is James. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. The Marvel heroes are just better. They're more interesting. Thank you, Chris Claremont. You are better than all the other comic writers for Marvel and DC combined. Maybe not as good as Frank Miller or Alan Moore, but pretty fucking close.
So that was good.
Was it good? Was it so good?
And I started listening to The River of Doubt. It's about Theodore Roosevelt right after his third run at the presidency, after he failed at the Bull Moose Party, and he needed to get away, and he decided to go to South America to do expeditions. And he happened to run into this thing called the River of Doubt, because it's a really treacherous stretch of river that no one could get through. And he's like, bully, I'll do that. And I'm at that story.
That was in Cuba. I think he went to Cuba.
No? Brazil. Amazon.
Brazil. I mean,
he probably did visit.
Yeah, he probably did go to Cuba at some point, right? And kill a bunch of brown people or something, I'm sure. That's what he did.
Well, that's the whole Rough Riders thing, wasn't it? Or was that...
That was the American Southwest, like in New Mexico and all that, like by the border in Texas. And,
bully.
But yeah, he went to Cuba at some point. Probably to wrestle a grizzly bear or some shit.
Yeah. The more I listen to it, I was like, I always think of Jeff Stanley with the fucking mustache.
Yeah.
Because he's built like him, dude.
Yeah.
He's like 5'8", 220. Bully, let's wrestle.
Yeah, well. He had glasses too, back when having glasses meant you were a nerd.
Yeah. So that's good. So yeah, I highly recommend that Search Party movie. What else?
Wait, I thought you said it was a TV show.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh.
Series.
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 Serious.
Yeah.
It's a serial. It's a serial.
Got any cool news for us?
No, I got any. I've started reading the stories. Here's a fucked up thing. Is so I was gonna. My girlfriend subscribes to the Wall Street Journal.
Fancy.
Okay. It's the best newspaper, unequivocally.
Oh,
And then I was like browsing through shit, and I was like, oh hey, like the Wall Street Journal for like $20 a month, Saturday delivery, Wall Street Journal magazine. I asked Anna, how much do you pay? She's like, like $40 a month. I was like, oh, I should just do that subscription, and we can get the weekend paper and the magazine, and it'd be half as much. Like, yeah. So with this whole rigmarole of trying to like get the subscription thing to like actually work, and I thought it finally worked. And it was like the app was letting me on there. It was like, hello, David. Like, what sort of news would you like today? And I'm like, oh, cool. And so I opened this fucking story about this woman whose lawyer, she murdered her lawyer because she thought he was in QAnon. And I read like the first 3 paragraphs, and it was like, read more. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm reading more of this. This is awesome. I'm like clicking it, and it's like, you need to sign up. And I'm like, I already did that. Like, fucking damn it. So I didn't get to read the whole story. So that's the long-winded explanation of like why.
No news.
No news.
All right, I got some news.
No news is good news.
Update. Oh, let it load a little bit. Ship stuck in Suez Canal has finally been freed.
Oh yeah, I did read that actually.
The Suez Canal was finally cleared Monday morning, nearly a week after after a struck ship forced it down. The Japanese-owned ship, one of the largest in the world, was on its way to the UK when it hit the right bank of the canal and completely blocked it. We already went through this. Yeah.
So it's free, man.
Yeah.
All the
Free Willy, man.
blockage is gone. It's cleaning out the pipes.
That's good. Okay, next story. Oh. Some entertainment news. Wait. Loading. Netflix nears $200 million deal for Knives Out 2 and 3. Daniel Craig and director Ryan Johnson reprising.
Wow, like theatrical movies transitioning over to Netflix at this point.
Yeah.
You see $100 million for the next 2 movies?
400 million.
400 million?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's fucking crazy.
That's nuts.
What was the budget for the first one?
It seemed like it was, let's see,
70, 80 million, maybe?
I wish I read the whole article instead of the headline.
Well, maybe it was more, though, because there was a lot of actors in there that
40 million.
That's it? Okay.
40 million and gross 311 million.
Yeah. I would have, I was like, maybe 50 million is what I would have thought.
Yeah.
Like Daniel Craig's top billing, and then like a bunch of other people that probably don't command a lot of anymore.
Yeah, older actors probably.
Yeah.
Be on their stuff. I don't know.
Huh. Yeah, wow, that's fucking ridiculous.
Well, good for them.
It seems like
I'm happy to see it.
You could make like 4 more movies on that budget.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they're like paying off all the actors pretty well. I don't know. I don't know.
Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, because I can't imagine like location would cost that much. They're not any special effects.
Yeah, that's the
It's
thing.
all
Is
talking
a
movies.
movie without like a ton of special effects or big set pieces or fantasy movies where there's like a bunch of combination of those things. Like, I can't imagine it would be anything other than just paying the actors and paying the writers and fuck, I don't know. Maybe they'll just pay those people more than they deserve. Just give the writers a bunch of fucking money.
Yeah, give Ryan Johnson a whole boatload of money.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but that might just ruin him. Like you might just give him.
I don't know. That Star Wars movie didn't ruin him. I got that Star Wars money.
Yeah, but that's like a thing he did. It's not like a thing that he does now. You know.
Well, he's writing like a whole nother trilogy for the mouse.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it just seems like, you know what I mean? Like Taika Waititi doing a Thor movie was like, but then it's like, okay, so that's not like a thing that he's doing. Like, he's not that guy now.
Yeah.
He's not John Favreau, right? Just
Yeah, he
becomes,
did Jojo Rabbit right after.
yeah, he did Jojo Rabbit like right after. It was
Yeah.
like a year later, not even, and it was fantastic. The movie was super good. And then he was like, he's still involved in the What We Do in the Shadows show, and so it's like, oh, okay, like you're still doing like cool shit.
Yeah.
And then like you're making the things that are like big that you do also cool.
Yeah.
So it's like cool, that's good. But you know, now Ryan Johnson's gonna have like a couple things where you can get that,
that paper.
yeah, get that fucking Johnny Depp money, turn it into Johnny Depp.
Oh damn! Smoking black cigarettes with scarves around his neck.
Yeah, that fucking Onion headline, man. Johnny Depp's 23andMe profile reveals that genetically he's 90% scarves. So fucking good.
All right, I got a story that might get some shed some light for me. All right, Chet Hanks predicts a white boy summer, but people are definitely not vibing with that. Chet Hanks predicted a white boy summer in a recent social media post, and people are not vibing with it.
They're not vibing that, bro.
I just got this quote. I just got this feeling, man. This is a summer about to be white boy summer. Take it how you want it. I'm not talking about Trump, NASCAR type white. I'm talking about like Jack Harlow type white boys. Hanks, the son of actor Tom Hanks, in a video posted on Instagram. Let me know if you guys can vibe with that, and you can really and get ready because I am. Unquote.
Wait, is he the actor? No, that's Colin Hanks.
Yeah, this is the not so cool other son.
Yeah,
he's a rapper, I think.
Yeah, Colin Hanks is talented.
Yeah. So what's up with white boy summer?
I don't know what that means.
You're a white guy, and you were a boy at one point.
I'm not into rap though, so I don't. What the fuck?
But it's about to be a white boy summer, though.
What does it mean?
I don't know. I'm asking
a bunch of white guys are gonna drop albums or some shit.
What is that supposed to mean?
Like the 4 white rappers that are like halfway talented are gonna get together and be like, all right, okay, so check it out. We're gonna we all gotta drop these.
Like Eminem sitting there is like, you right, Chet. You right. Yeah. It's about to be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that just seems like a weird fucking thing to say.
I don't know. I was really confused. Like, what is this supposed to mean?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, hey man, you fucking, what's with white rappers? Like, it's time to fucking, we want to sip on gin and juice too. Like, I don't fucking know what that means.
I guess I'll report later and find out.
I'm clueless as to what that could possibly fucking mean. It's not like White Girl Wasted. You know what that is?
Yeah.
It's like that's a specific brand of like drunk for like.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Sloppy drunk.
Yeah, sloppy, slutty drunk. Right. That's White Girl Wasted. Everyone knows what that is.
So like white boys are popping now. That's your summer thing, right? Like it's time to get white boys be doing stuff.
Yeah. Will Smith is gonna release another album.
Like, what?
Yeah, white rappers, right? I mean, he's like
Will Smith.
Yeah, he's like the whitest rapper ever. He's more of a white rapper than Eminem is.
Whoa. I guess we'll find out. The mystery is still out there, guys. If you guys know what white boy summer means, please let me know.
Yeah, it's probably not something in this current political environment that you really want to be rallying around.
I feel like, us white people are being a little oppressed right now, so it's gonna make it clear. It's a white boy summer.
Sure.
Just let it know. Let you guys know.
But like again,
just letting you guys know
like,
it's about to be a white boy summer.
In what way though? What is it gonna do?
It's about to be white boy summer.
It's like it's all the white guys.
Just gotta bust up on your white claws.
Maybe that's what it means.
Where you're like Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yeah.
Looking all fly.
An alternatine.
Yeah. That's a pretty good one. So anyway, moving along, we're gonna. I forgot to ask you, what are you enjoying?
Smoking a Patron Maduro Churchill.
Oh, very nice. A Churchill?
Yeah. Yeah, we have them at Aloni.
Oh, cool.
Good. 1000 Series Churchill. I didn't even know they made that until
I didn't know either.
Yeah, it's fucking super good. It's like the best size.
Huh.
Super good. It's like a true.
Is it
Churchill.
numbered or it just says Churchill?
Churchill.
Huh.
It's one of those weird ones like the Lonsdales or whatever. Like they just don't have name. Like they don't have numbers, but it's in the same line as that. But it's just a size.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it. Oh, I tried some. Maybe it looks like you did see on the gram. I tried some weird fucking Japanese whiskey at work today. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I was like, it was
For a good time.
Centaur. I forget what the name of Yakuza or something.
Miyazaki? No. Yamazaki? I forgot.
Yeah, Yamazaki.
Yeah.
The Yamazaki.
It's like, damn it, why do the Japanese gotta do all the good stuff? Like, they just know how to make, like, yeah, we had the whiskey. We couldn't make a whiskey.
No E, though. It's whiskey with just a Y.
Uh-huh. We make a whiskey.
Yeah, I don't know that it's better than, say, Irish whiskey or bourbon or Scotch. It's just different.
It's mighty fine.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good whiskey. But then again, I don't know, like, I didn't, like, how much that cost, man? Like, a bottle of that? Like, it could have been like a $400 bottle of whiskey or something I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
I was like, it's pretty good. 12-year-old whiskey. Tasty. And so, yeah, he was talking to me about cigars and stuff. It's picking my brain about Cubans and shit. So I was like, yeah, okay.
Some just rando guy.
Yeah, it's like some dude that just came in. He was like he was like, oh, because he came in and he was like, okay, so here's, I need something kind of mild. And I was like, okay. He's like, I'm drinking a Japanese whiskey. And I was like, man, of all the whiskeys, I'm probably the least experienced in Japanese whiskey. I've had like 2 or 3 of them, like 2 or 3 times. And he's like, okay, I just want something like, kind of mild. It's like a 12-year-old whiskey. And I was like, okay, so...
I imagine like a Epernay would probably pair pretty well.
Well, see, because I originally recommended the Capaguan, Connecticut, because he said he wanted Connecticut. And I was like, oh, the H2K and the Capaguan are probably good choices. And then he was like, well, and I recommended something else. And I was like, but that's definitely going to be something where the, like, cigar is in the forefront. And he was like, yeah. He's like, I have problems with some cigars where, like, the spice kind of cuts through the whiskey because it's really subtle. And I was like, oh, yeah, you might not want to go with a Capaguan, or even the H2K might be, like, it does have a little twinge of, like, red pepper spice. And maybe, I was like, you should go with this Singulare. Like, go with this 2014 Singulare. It's got, like, a nice sweetness to it. It doesn't have the creaminess that you're looking for, but I don't think that it will overwhelm your whiskey. And he seemed pretty pleased. He was like, yeah, this goes really well with this. I'm like, I've never had that whiskey before, but I just know generally some characteristics of Japanese whiskey. And it doesn't want to be overwhelmed, and so this is a good cigar for that. He seemed really pleased. So he gave me some of the whiskey. He goes, thank you. And left me a $10 tip.
Oh, nice.
So
put the cigar in your tip jar.
Yeah. And Andy was like, hey, he's like, was talking to him for a minute. He's like, oh, you have a podcast? He's like, what's it called? Like, I'll look it up. Like, I'll give it a listen or whatever. Follow you on the gram. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So maybe he's listening to this podcast. Hey, guy that gave me the whiskey, you're a cool dude. I don't remember your name, but your buddy's name was David. His buddy's name was David.
You only remember because of your name.
Yeah. I don't think he told me his name. Maybe he did. I don't really remember. Some sort of dude. It's very dude-like. He had some dude-like qualities.
He looked like a man.
He looked like a man. Yeah. Sure, yeah, that's true. I wouldn't have mistaken him for a woman, that's for sure.
Well, I'm smoking My Father Le Bajou. Good standby. I haven't had it in a long time.
Yeah, I hadn't had it in a long time but the last few times I had it, it's just like super fucking strong, way stronger than I remember it being.
Yeah, this one probably has about like a couple years on it, so.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of smoothed everything out.
Yeah, because
it's like kind of almost like a dark chocolate kind of.
Yeah, because I liked that cigar a lot when it first came out, like 2015, 2016, whatever it was. And then I kind of forgot about it for a while, and then I picked it up a couple of times in the last couple, and every time I did, it just had this strong bite to it. And I was like, whoa, man, I don't remember this having so much bite to it. Mm-hmm. And so I just haven't really been back to it. But yeah, I would imagine it's like, I will say, though, that the Le Bijou, the LEs that they did, for like whatever my father does, the ones in the coffins every year. Yeah. The Le Bijou one that they did of that was pretty fucking good.
Is that the one in the white box? Oh, no, that was the Jaime.
Yeah, the Jaime came in the white boxes. These came in coffins.
Yeah.
And so there was like
I'm kind of curious what those Jaimes taste like, the 10 years.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, because wasn't particularly like surprised. I was like, it tastes like a Jaime. I don't know what's the difference.
See, it didn't taste like a Jaime at all to me, actually. Oh. I was like, this is a Jaime Garcia. It doesn't taste like a Jaime Garcia at all to me. But I liked it. but I didn't like it as much as the Le Bijou is good, but then the what's the other one? It was like the 15-year one or the
Yeah, I think it was like the My Father 15, something like that.
yeah, but it was it branded a Le Bijou? I don't know. Whatever it was, that one was really fucking good. It was like, wow, I had a couple of those. I might even still have one in my locker somewhere.
Oh, we did try out the Capa Especial from Tatawahe.
Yeah, the new one. I forget.
A little spice bomb.
Yeah, it was decent, but it didn't have a lot of like complexity to it. It was really just like spicy and kind of like
Yeah, that upfront note, like that first third, is like kind of like what to expect from like a darker Tatawahe, but it just became just brute force on your like full throttle into your fucking palate.
For a Lonsdale, it was strong. Yeah. It had shades of like the Avian Reserve. It tasted more like that than anything else, I think, and maybe like a cross between that and then like the 7th Reserva, kind of in that ballpark.
Yeah,
but yeah, like lots of spice, like some earth in there, but not a lot of like nuance. It just kind of like hit hard on that note. And it was like, whoa. It dialed back in the middle, and then it got a little more complexity in the back, which was nice. But yeah, for a Lonsdale, I was like, I hardly ever smoke cigars that like leave me going like, whoa, that's fucking strong.
Yeah, you're feeling it.
Yeah, I was like, man, it's a fucking strong cigar. It's not like I huffed it down or anything like that. We took probably like a better part of an hour to smoke a fucking Lonsdale. So I was like, yeah, okay, I don't know. And yeah, the rowdy Aloni house. So
yeah, I haven't been in a crowd like that in a while, so I was like, ooh, it's kind of freaked out by that.
Yeah,
don't touch me, don't breathe on me.
Yeah. Stay away, leave me alone.
Yeah.
I was asking Jeb yesterday when I came in. I came in like last week or earlier this week when I shot pool with Devin. I came in, I had a cigar, and then I went and met Devin to shoot pool. And the same thing yesterday. I came in and like everybody that saw me was like, "Oh, hey, David, what are you weren't working, are you?" I'm like, "No, man, I'm just hanging out. I have a cigar." It's like, "Oh yeah, cool, like right on." It's like, and then it was like Jeb was there
because like the way that people were like acting towards you, and then the way that you were acting towards them, it was like two different things. Like it was like reverse world or something like that. It's like, leave me alone.
No, it was just confused. It was confusing because it's like, generally speaking, people are not.
Hey, Dave, how's it going? How you doing?
People are not normally that enthusiastic to see me. They're not. They're just like, hey, what's up? Can I get a chair for outside? It's like, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I'm used to that dynamic. But it was like, I came in earlier in the day, and it was like,
one of the workers were like, "Hey man, I love you, man. I love you like a brother."
Yeah, Leon's always like that though. I
was like, "You like this guy?"
Leon's dope.
He's a good guy. Seems like a good guy.
He's a really good guy. But he was there. Jeb was working, and then Bob, the guy that relieves me on Saturdays, he came in, and Kevin Chan was there. I was like, Bob walks in, like Kevin Chan was there, Leon was there, Jeb was there, I was there. He was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Oh, it's a company meeting. You didn't get a fucking memo?" He's like, "No, I didn't get anything." It's like, "I'm just fucking with you." But I asked Jeb, I was like, "Man, am I like the only one that like doesn't come in here when I'm not working?" And he's like, "I'm hardly ever in here when I'm not working." And I was like, "Man," because like everyone that sees me is like, "Hey, well, you're not working, are you? What are you doing here, man?" I was like, "I'm just fucking hanging out having a cigar. Can't I do that?" It's like everyone just like acted like it was like, I don't know.
I enjoyed like no one knowing who I am. I'm just like, I'm just a dude.
Yeah.
I'm not being bothered by anybody.
Nobody's like, "This fucking guy Mikey right here." Yeah. Well, Lewis was there, so he was.
Yeah.
It's like to pick.
I don't know, Lewis. Are you watching?
Yeah.
Tell me, buddy. We gave you a shout out, bro.
Yeah. Hey, so you're like, "Oh yeah, I still watch, man. Come on, like fucking yeah. Come on, Lewis.
Tell me, my friend.
Come on, Lewis.
You tell me, my friend. Did you listen to this message?
Yeah.
I'll give you $50 if you can fucking find this. Show me this video. I'll give you $50.
That's a bold statement. No, I like picking at that guy. He's fun to pick at.
Yeah, you ever notice when I said like, "You should do this, you should do that"? He's like, I don't have to. You're making me do more work, bro. I don't want to do any more work.
I just like to pick at him.
Yeah.
He's easy to pick at, especially because I don't think he knows whether I'm fucking with him.
Well, he's fucking around too. So.
I know, but I don't think he knows whether I'm entirely fucking with him.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely fucking with him. I'm picking at him a little bit. It's just like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, press pass.
Yeah, look at this press bad being all ornery.
Yeah, that's how I do.
All
But,
right, let's move on to the cigar of the week we reviewed. We both smoked. Or actually, the cigar we're reviewing today is Cigar International's Legend Series.
Legend, bro.
Legend, bro.
Legend, bro.
By Perdomo.
Yeah.
It is the one we smoked was a Torpedo. Wrapper's Habano. Origin is Nicaraguan. They claim it to be a medium plus, medium to full, which I would kind of tend to agree.
Yeah, I would say medium to medium plus.
Mm-hmm.
Medium plus toward the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised because it definitely has that Nicaraguan Habano flavor, which you typically claim to not like, but every now and again we get one and you're like, oh, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a Habano, bro. You're like, oh, fucking like Habanos.
Cilantro, ew.
But you do like some Habanos.
Sabano, yeah. I will say that.
Yeah.
Change my tune. I was just because I'm like pretty much like most of the more I've only had like a handful of the Perdomo line, and I have like pretty much all of them. They're just not really terribly complex, but just very easy-going smokes.
They also just don't have a lot of variety in their line. I find that like
because I had the champagne, the Maduro, and that's about it.
Yeah, they're all kind of homogenized. They all kind of just, I mean, they're variances of the same kind of situation. Like, you know, I don't want to compare it to Padron because it's not really on the same caliber, but it's just similar insofar as that there's not a lot of variance in their line. They have like a few different cigars, and you can kind of tell it's like,
which is fine.
Same binder filler, and there's just a different wrapper leaf on each cigar, and it's like that's fine. You know, in the Habano, it seemed like a pretty straightforward Habano, like kind of has some of that like almost like reminds me. I don't want to say like dirt, but like it's
a
like,
barnyard kind of. It's like a pleasant kind of like very rich earth soil.
Yeah, like a acidic soil almost.
Yeah, I would agree.
And then a little bit of like kind of like dry
cedar, leather.
Yeah, I got a little dry cocoa on the like the dry draw, but not as much on the smoke.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had my notes, but I forgot them. But yeah, that cigar for me, which was surprising, it was such a layered cigar, because it was from the get go, from the first light to that first third, it was like a lot of, like you said, like a barnyard kind of like earthiness to it, and then it with a background of leather, and then towards like the halfway mark or so, it was like more of like kind of like a walnut taste to it, but that red pepper spice. I always want to say it's red pepper, but it's some sort of spice. It's just like super bright.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know, like there was definitely a nuttiness, but it almost tasted more like, for me, more like a Brazil nut than a walnut. Like that kind of like waxy Brazil nut flavor. Cause
it was like, to me, it was like that nutty kind of meatiness, like kind of like, you know, walnuts are kind of tend to be kind of meaty. It has like kind of like
I think that Brazil nuts are kind of that way too, but they're just a little sharper.
Yeah.
But then again, maybe that sharpness is a byproduct of the spice that you're describing too. But like I get the sharpness on the nut note, and it's like the earthiness. It's weird because it tastes it is earthy, but it almost tastes like what you imagine like really fertile soil to grow something in would taste like. It's like fertile acidic soil. It's like this tastes like what you would grow something tasty in.
Yeah.
But for some reason the flavor is like fine. I don't know why, but
yeah, because this is like you get the spectrum of like that earthiness, like we're talking about that richness that comes out of it. Then you get like Honduran tobacco, which it tastes like
old coffee grounds.
Yeah, dirt, like unpleasant.
Yeah, like it reminds me of like a compost pile.
Yeah.
Or like if it's really bad, it's almost just like mud, like a muddy water, like or like the worst of it. Usually, the worst Dominican cigars always taste like mop water to me. Like just dirty, moppy, soapy, fucking bleach water.
And the worst is like when it's like that kind of dirt tasting and has like that. I don't know how to explain it, like a tannin to it, where like the texture of your tongue changes.
Yeah,
like it's rough on the palate, like physically rough on the palate.
Yeah, it's almost like it
just dries out your palate.
Yeah, it's almost like it's like just fucking up your tongue, like when you eat too many salt and vinegar chips or something like that.
Yeah,
it's like it's gross. But like when there's a little bit of acidity, it's kind of nice. You know, it's like not quite a. But yeah, a lot of Habanos have that kind of like acidic bite up front and then mellow out into like a earthy kind of nuttiness.
Mm-hmm.
The best Habanos do.
Yeah. Like a bad example would kind of be, tastes like kind of like paper.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, like you're chewing on paper.
To me, it's
Like
more like
pulpy.
it's more like sawdust.
Yeah.
It's like just like
Yeah.
or like some of them even are almost like chewing out pencil or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I find sometimes when there's like a little bit of that graphite taste to it, I do enjoy it. It's like a mineral taste.
yeah, it's really got to be nuanced, and sometimes it just tastes like a pencil and it's not good.
Yeah.
Like it's just. I remember John Savick gave me a cigar one time, and he was like, "What?" He was like, "You like that?"
out.
I was like, "It tastes like a pencil." And he was like, "Yeah, that is what I'm tasting. It's like a pencil." I'm like, "Yeah, that's not a pleasant taste."
Uh-huh.
And he gave me some other cigar one time too. He used to do this all the time. He just give me cigars that he would be smoking, and he'd be like, what am I tasting?" I'm like, "I don't know what you're tasting, but this is what I'm tasting." Right? He gave me one. And he was like, "Do you like that?" I'm like, "No." And he was like,
I don't like it either.
He's like, what does it taste like? Do you know, like vegetable oil? He was like, "Yeah, that's what it is. It tastes like vegetable oil." I'm like, "How do you not get that? It's like kicks me in the teeth with vegetable oil." Like,
I guess some people just don't have the words for what they're like. They can sense it, but they don't know what to describe it as.
it's really weird to me that like, okay, so
There's something there. I just don't know what it is.
it's really weird to me that some people, okay, so the few people that I've known in my life that like fancy themselves foodies,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even someone like Don or Adam, right? Like they're just like really into like cuisine.
Mm-hmm.
And you would think that would open your repertoire of verbiage to describe flavors as a general rule.
When they went to the Guy Fieri like tasting note seminar, chewy, saucy,
Like, oh, this is good.
Flavor Town.
I mean, it's not like they're totally like bankrupt in words,
no.
but like I would expect them just to cross over, dribble, and dunk on me when it comes to like explaining the way things taste. Just like I would assume anybody that drinks wine would be able to like when it comes to cigars.
Sometimes when I hear some of those reviews, it's like I think these people are full of shit.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
I think that's stupid, but then again,
Creepy? Alcohol?
Captain Crunch degraded in milk. Fuck you, Half Wheel. Stupid fucking review. Idiot, pretentious, jerk off garbage.
Well, I guess you could say that about this podcast too, but whatever. But anyway, back to review.
You could say that, but you'd be wrong.
Whoa.
You'd be wrong. Salt of the earth, my friend.
Whoa. So did you like on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the best, 1 is the stinker?
So 5s, we're talking like Padron, Davidoff, and 1 we're talking like Macanudo.
Inspirato White.
Inspirato White. All right. I'll give it like a 3.5.
I agree.
3.25.
Okay.
Just it's decent.
Super solid to me. I enjoyed because it had like a lot of nuance to it. Changed a lot.
Well, it's tempered too. It's hard for me to rate a cigar without knowing how much it cost.
Oh yeah. I think it was like a box of, let's see. Come on, baby. Let's see here. A box of 20 goes for $100.
That bumps it up to a 3.5 then.
Yeah. So like the price point was like, okay, this is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty solid cigar for that price. It's I will say that the draw was a little tight on it.
Oh, I got the opposite. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I cut mine and it was like it took a minute to open up. So
yeah, the ones that I smoked were just like wide open, like okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be just. I mean,
It was kind of similar to like you know how Rocky, like for whatever you think about like the flavor of Rocky Patel's, like the construction's pretty good. Like, but I think they're just too wide open. There's not enough resistance. So that's how I felt about the Perdomo.
Oh, yeah. Some Padrones, like especially the 1000 series, like the bigger ring gauge 1000 series, can just be too open.
Yeah.
Like you smoke like 7000, it's just like
yeah,
it's like fucking water through a straw. It's like holy shit, that's like a loose straw.
Yeah, I understand that they want to keep their roots as kind of like non-traditional Cuban rolls. Like it has the single cap on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should just do away with it. Like the triple cap's the better for like after you cut the cigar. Like it doesn't fall apart. That's a problem I've seen. That's my only gripe about Padron. Is like I just wish they had a triple cap on it.
Yeah, I don't really have any trouble with it. Like,
Yeah, more times than not, that's the cigar that starts to unravel on me.
like right at the cap.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't really have much trouble with that. But then again, like I pretty much when I smoke the 1000 series, it's like occasionally the 2000 and usually the Churchill at Aloni, and yeah, I don't really have much problem with it. But yeah, I could see that. But I don't know that that's really terribly germane to the draw, right? I mean,
There's just construction notes that I would change.
yeah,
Like keep everything, put a triple cap.
boost the cost up though. Charge you an extra $1 for that triple cap.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't. But yeah, I mean, it's you have to kind of like that they want to kind of be traditional in that regard, I guess. But yeah, some things are better for a reason. Traditional or not, they're better. They're improvements, right? Like the Philly cheesesteak or whatever. It's like
Try out our dog meat
Yeah.
on a bun, and we fight about which place we like to eat at.
yeah, it's like it's traditional this way. It's like, well, it doesn't make it fucking better. Like just doesn't make it better just because it's like that's the traditional way. It's like some traditional stuff is
It's authentic.
fucking trash. Like,
Authentic.
yeah, I don't know. There's some things like that. I was just talking about that the other day. What the fuck was it? It's like, well, that's like the traditional way. I'm like, well, so fucking what? I don't care. It's nasty that way. Fucking like nasty things.
Like what?
Like I'm trying. I can't remember what it was. I think it was food or something. I can't remember. Anyway, I on a cigar unrelated to cigars note on a tasting note.
Whoa.
I was talking about watching YouTube a bunch this week, and this YouTuber that I follow who doesn't post that much like since COVID, and it's kind of weird because he's young, and so he hasn't posted for a while, and because he's young, you can like see a distinct difference in the fact that he hasn't posted in a while. Like he looks older now, because he's been YouTubing since he was like 16 or 17.
Okay.
And he's in his early 20s now, and so now he's got like the early like I can grow facial hair now. Like he's got that going on, and but he's like one of my favorite YouTubers. His name is Cosmic Skeptic. That's his YouTube handle. His name is Alex O'Connor, and so he's super bright, right? I've seen him like talk and debate with people that are like apologists of the religious persuasion, people that are in his camp that are like decades older than him, and he's super fucking smart. And he's studying philosophy at Oxford, and I really like him because he talks about a lot of things that, first of all, he crystallizes a lot of things that I've been unable to articulate as well as he does, that I've thought about things for like a long time, and I just kind of bump up against people that have differing opinions, and like I just kind of try to explain it to them, and I can't crystallize it as well as he does. So
the farts do push the shit out.
But then every now and again, more than other YouTubers, right? Because when you listen to and consume things that you like, mostly it's going to be things of a certain mindset and persuasion, or it's going to be things that are antithetical to your mindset and persuasion. So you're prepared to like critique, or you're prepared to kind of like sharpen your viewpoint depending on if it's something that you totally agree with, or not totally agree with, but something you agree with, something that you're like, okay, I like anti-MLM things, so I can watch stuff like that, and it sharpens my viewpoint, and I can watch things that are the contrary, and I'm usually primed to critique it or make concessions to my own viewpoint because these other people make good points, right? Like, oh, I hadn't thought about that, and maybe I can soften my opinion on this thing, or whatever. Be more prepared to engage an interlocutor that has a differing viewpoint than me. And I think that's how you get better and more civilized at debating with people, disagreeing with people in general. But every now and again, he just comes out with something that, like, I had fucking never considered, things that I had thought about deeply before and had never considered. And he posted a video this week where I just, like, something that I had never fucking thought about. And it was, like, really interesting. So it's basically a different take on, so you're familiar with the problem of evil, like, in apologetics, right? Like, okay, so to give you the Cliff Notes version, a big...
Whoa, I thought it was the other kid's version.
What?
It said it's Cliff's Notes. I thought they were talking about this cosmic skeptic guy. Whose notes are you talking about now?
Spark Notes.
Oh.
What's the difference between Spark Notes and Cliff's Notes? Do you know?
I don't know.
It seemed
One's
like...
a branded one?
Oh, maybe. Because at some point it seemed like there was like a shift between people stopped saying Cliff's Notes and they started saying Spark Notes. And I was like, I don't know what that
I think it's just a branding thing.
Different brands?
Yeah.
But anyway, so the abridged version of the article, or the abridged version of the argument, is usually a response to calling into question the existence of God. Like, or moreover, how do you reconcile the concept that there is suffering in the world? Because who is it? I think it's Epicurus that first posed this question, which is, there is suffering in the world, and you claim, as a religious, not you, but one claims.
I never said that.
No, I know. I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to be like, I don't say that shit.
Why you fucking misquote me, bro?
I mean, misquote me.
Fucking fake news.
An apologist, somebody who is of the hyper-religious persuasion, says God, usually
capital G,
usually the God of Abraham, created the universe. And he is omnipotent and also omnibenevolent. And then some people say omnipresent, but to me that just seems to be covered in omnipotent, all powerful and all loving. And so a intellectual riposte to that argument, summed up by Epicurus, and I'm not going to use the Greek language here because he's a philosopher and speaks in a very Greek way, you know. But basically he says, okay, so we can observe that there is suffering in the world of a variety of stripes. So you're faced with a quandary.
Doing that thing.
What thing?
Get closer to the mic.
Oh, sorry. I was worried I was going to.
I know you're full leaning. You're getting into it. I can see it. You're in full lean mode, my friend.
Full lean mode. So if there's suffering in the world, which there observably is, and so is God unable to alleviate the suffering? And if he is unable, then he is not omnipotent. Or is God unwilling to alleviate the suffering? And if he is unwilling, then he is not omnibenevolent, all-loving. And if he's not unwilling, if he's both unwilling and unable, then why would you call him God, right? He's not God, because he's neither of these things that we ascribe to him. So it's not possible for there to be this omnibenevolent and omnipotent thing as long as there is suffering in the world. Okay, so that's the crux of the argument. And it's a pretty good argument. It's like the paradox of, can God create a rock that's so heavy that he cannot move?
Can God make a burrito so hot he cannot eat it himself?
Yeah, right. It's a paradox, you know, because if he can't, then he's not all powerful. And if he can't move it, then he's not all powerful, or he can't be all powerful. An all-powerful being is paradoxical. But he brought up a completely different layer of this argument that I had never considered before, which is the suffering of animals being the
You got no souls, bro.
biggest issue.
You don't
with,
care about that. They're
with
just meat vehicles for us to consume.
Right, and that
keep
doesn't
as slaves.
That doesn't jibe with an omnibenevolent God, right? There's orders of magnitude more animals in the world than there are people, and so how do you jibe this concept of morality? Because often the response, to give you the response to some things that people say about the problem of evil, is that humans have free will, so suffering is a byproduct of free will. And then, I mean, there's problems with all these arguments, but that's one of them. Another one is that God's plan is beyond our scope of understanding, and that, all of the suffering plays into like a larger divine plan that he has, that we will, to reward us in paradise for all the suffering that we had to endure. But I'd never thought about the concept of like, well, what about animals? Animals endure orders of magnitude more suffering than humans do. Like they're constantly worried about predators and starving and all this thing. And then according to most theological doctrines, animals don't are outside the realm of morality, right? They're amoral, and also don't have immortal souls. And so if they don't have immortal souls, then they can't have the infinite reward that humans have in paradise. And they also don't have free will. So those arguments kind of fall apart. And he was just like, what about that? Like, why would God allow the suffering of all of these animals? Like, why is it can't possibly be necessary in any of the reasons that apologists typically give. I was like, man, I never fucking thought about that before. That's like really, because he was just talking about like, horrible, horrible things happen to animals. Way more horrible than people could ever even fathom, right? Like you've never walked to the grocery store worried that you might be mauled by a grizzly bear.
We used to.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
But that's another thing that I always wondered too, that I don't think gets enough attention about God and God's relationship to man, which is, let's make the assumption that you're not a young earth creationist, because I don't think most people are young earth creationists. I think most people probably believe in evolution. Maybe they don't believe it to a T, but in general, they believe that, people evolved. And so if you are the kind of person that believes in evolution, and you also believe that God loves man, at what point along the evolutionary chain did man become God's favorite animal? Because it's not like, if you don't think that we just sprang into existence as humans, like we evolved from apes and other primates, then at what point did God go like, oh yeah, that's like, now that's my favorite. Like they're my favorites now. We're going to start orchestrating this whole shit for their behalf. No one really ever thinks about that. It's like, because there's plenty of people that believe in evolution and also believe in God. Like,
well, maybe when people believed in the higher beings, like, these dudes, I like these dudes. You're my people now.
But didn't we believe in him because he gave us his divine word? So he was the first mover, right? Like he acted first. People didn't just believe in God out of like nothing. Well, in my view, they did. But like if you're religious, you don't believe that. You don't believe in people just believed in God out of nothing. That God was the first mover, that he acted upon humanity to be like, this is the divine gospel. Like, and even prior to Jesus, people believed in all these other like crazy gods. And then he was like, God came down and was like, no, that's false. Like that shit ain't real. Like you got to stop believing in that. And so we started murdering everybody that believed in that. And
non-believers.
Like, yeah. And so we're like, fuck that. We're not doing that anymore because it's not the way. And so it's like, at what point did he decide like, hey, I'm going to favor these people and give them the divine word? That seems like a perfectly legitimate question that I don't have an answer for, and I've never heard anyone even address. Should ask Father Bob about that. He probably has some sort of really esoteric theological answer that's like doesn't really get to the heart of what I'm asking, but like will be well cited at least.
I don't know.
But no, I don't know. I just think it's very infrequent that, like, especially if I'm listening to a YouTube channel about anything about logic or rationality or atheism or skepticism or anything like that, that I encounter like a new idea that's a gradient or like a deeper understanding or a deeper thought process involved with something that I've already been thinking about for a while. Or in the same way that I don't hardly ever encounter people that are like super religious that ever give me any arguments for religion that I haven't heard like 10 quadrillion times. And so that's always interesting. It's like discovering a new band or something. It's like, wow, yeah, it's something interesting to think about that I don't have an answer for.
Yeah, it's kind of we're working with somebody for martial arts, striking, punching, joint locks, grappling, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a fair amount of all these things, but to see it from a different perspective, like, oh, that's interesting. I never thought about that. Like, why would I? Because I don't deal with weapons, right? Got these weapons right here. But when you're talking to somebody that does like Philippine martial arts or Indonesian martial arts, they like to use knives, or there's always a thought of having a weapon in your hand or someone else having a weapon in their hand.
Yeah.
So you got to deal with those things in a different manner. Yeah. So working with the approaches of like doing joint locks or disarming somebody or taking someone down, what do you need to consider doing those things? So that's kind of almost in the same framework of that, because like, yeah, I know strikes and kicks and punches and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But never really thought about like, what if this and this happened? Like, oh, okay. Like the context is not there for me to think about because it was not something we discuss.
Right.
So, yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of fucking people up, I watched. Devin came over on Monday night, and we watched.
Let me show you some Mayweather fights, dude.
No, he was like, "Hey, did you ever see the Castillo Corrales title fight?" And I was like, "No, all those guys lightweights." He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah, I usually watch like anything below welterweight." He's like, "Oh, okay." I was like,
"You're a weightist."
I was like, "Is it on YouTube?" He's like, "Yeah." So we watched it. That fight's a pretty fucking good fight, dude. It's a pretty good fight. It's I don't think it went the distance, but it fucking certainly had enough action in it that more than like most fights that go the distance and then some like do. It's a pretty solid fight, so that's always interesting. I think it's almost like a 10-year-old fight or something like that. He said it's like 7 or 8 years old. So it's like usually like if a fight's that good, I'm pretty hip to it. I don't follow boxing, but I'll watch a fucking good boxing match. But yeah, that was cool. I didn't just like trading blows, like right in the pocket, just kind of fucking
rock 'em, sock 'em robots.
Yeah. But differing styles too, and kind of like back and forth trading rounds. It's really a really dynamic fight. But you could tell it's just like you could tell they're lightweights though because they're just going at it. It's like
pillow hands.
Yeah. I was like, man,
15 hit combos. Like I still got some more.
Yeah.
I'm breathing heavy.
I'm breathing heavy though. You're paper champion. You're paper champion, Balboa. Creed.
Any prediction for the fight?
Paid. He's so schlocky. So he's crying. Like I've watched that movie probably like 10 times, the third Rocky movie. And the scene is it goes like before he's going out to fight Clubber Lang, aka Mr. T. Mick's having some problems with my ticker kid. Yeah. And then he goes out, he comes back. Like, and Mick like dies in the back. Spoiler alert. It's been like 30 years, man. You don't know that Mick dies in Rocky 3. You'll never know that Mick dies in Rocky 3. But so he dies, and then like there's this part where like Rocky is blubbering and he's saying stuff, and I've watched the movie like 10 times. I still can't fucking and I'm like I thought about just turning on the subtitles and be like, what the fuck is he saying there? But like 10 times I can't, like, I don't fucking know what he's just blubbering for like a solid like 20 seconds. And it just sounds like nonsensical gibberish.
You should put the subtitles on.
Yeah.
See what happens.
It'd probably just be question marks. Like, oh. Sometimes they do that, just fill shit in, like. Yeah, he said that. Like that's what the script said, so that's what he's saying. Like, nah, I don't think that's true. Yeah. All right, okay, I'm settled.
Settled in there, buddy. All right, I think we're running up on time. Oh yeah, we are running up on time. Look at that. Would you look at that, guys?
It went fast.
Yeah,
went fast.
How about that?
Oh yeah, would you look at that horn?
You have any suggestions for the next cigar of the week? For the fine people out there, all 5 of you.
Yeah. Yeah, what should we smoke next week?
I don't know. You want to try that private stock?
Sure,
Little
yeah.
budget banger.
Yeah.
That was little preview, private stock.
Private stock. Yeah, why don't we do that?
Yeah, we'll do
I
that.
don't think I have anything in my docket. We can order some Cubans soon, huh?
Yep.
Do that.
Yep. All right. Yeah, we'll probably do a lot of Cubans in the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or at least 5 of them.
Well, some of those are some of the things that we're gonna order. Like I haven't had in years.
Yeah.
So it's.
I completely forgot. That's why I haven't ordered. Like, what were we supposed to get? We'll talk about it off air.
Yeah, I think I remember what we're gonna order.
Okay.
But yeah, okay, yeah, that's all I got. What do you got? You got anything?
That's about it from me, guys. Watch. Yeah, I don't know.
Check out the Antibot on YouTube. That's my rec for this week.
What?
The Antibot.
Antibot.
Yep.
Antibot.
Yep. Like especially if you don't like multi-level marketing horse shit, or you think like, oh, so maybe it's a legitimate thing. It's not. It's not a thing that you should like. If for no other reason, it'll like armor you against ever like being recruited into some sort of that crazy shit. Because I venture to guess that almost everybody knows somebody who has probably been recruited into an MLM at some point. You don't know anyone? Oh, that's impressive. Most people I know, like, you think, let me tell you about this thing.
Maybe I have. It was for it was like prepaid lawyer stuff.
Mm-hmm. You don't know anybody that sold Cutco knives?
Not personally.
Okay.
Well, Chill will try to talk to me about that stuff.
I'm trying to think of what the other common one is. Yeah, Cutco knives. I had an Uber driver try to pitch me on an MLM, and I ended up spending like 20 minutes in her car after she dropped me off.
What?
Not like that.
No. But it was like just kept you there. Like, I need to talk to you.
No. Because she was trying. I asked. She had this thing on her, whatever, her dash, and I was reading it, and I was kind of like confused. I was like, I asked her about it, and then so, it'd be like, ask me about my strident opinions T-shirt. You know,
Yeah.
What's up with your opinions about stuff? Let me fucking tell you.
Whoa.
Here's the thing about cigars. Here's the thing about The Sopranos. Here, and so I asked her, and so she starts like telling me all about it. And I was like, oh, you're in a pyramid scheme. And she's like, no, it's not like that. And I was like, so I was just like trying to do my good deed for the day and like talk to her and try to like maybe disavow her of some of these like things and like not trigger her defense mechanisms, which is hard for me. I was trying to like...
You don't say.
Hey, I can have a gentle hand at times. Because that's the thing, is it'd be one thing if someone was like, multiple marketing are awesome, right? Like, then maybe I'd be like, at that person. But this person was like a victim, right? And so I was never like, and she was like super nice and kind of this like meek Asian chick. And so I was just like, okay, you're very obviously being taken advantage of for a variety of reasons here that are crystal clear to me. And so I want to try to help you as much as I can. And so I just ended up like talking to her for like, and I don't know that I got through to her at all, but maybe at the very least someone who's like outside your immediate circle of people, like being like, I don't know about that, man. Like maybe it might like sow some seed of doubt, and maybe you might be able to pull yourself out of like the murky waters of stupidity. But yeah, it was like, yeah, I've had plenty of people. And I've known people that have been into that. I just assumed everybody had at some point, but I guess maybe not. But anyway, check out her YouTube channel. It's cool. It's gives you, kind of puts you, it's like when you watch like a video of like, here's how people do legerdemain, right? 3-card money or whatever. Like, here's what's happening to you, and here's why that's a scam. And then so if someone like, you were ever walking down the street and someone's like, hey, you want to play some 3-card money? You'd be like, I know what's up with that.
No, it's an honest game.
Yeah, and you would just be on your way, right? Like it's so like maybe her channel could do that for you. Because she certainly doesn't come on and be like, here's why it's fucking bullshit. Let me fucking tell you all these idiot scammers, bullshit scammers. Like, she just breaks it down. Like, really, her delivery is a little rigid, but she's really good and methodical about kind of explaining the tactics and explaining like how these things work and why they work the way or they don't work. And all these different elements of it, how they use certain things like that you're familiar with, right? Like it's really popular in like super religious communities like the Mormons and stuff, and how they will use like things that you're familiar with in your religion, your concepts, especially with like essential oils. Like they will try anything and everything like to convince you that like essential oils are basically part of your faith. So you owe it to yourself to like sell essential oils with the multi-level marketing scheme. And it's like, you know, it's all part of your faith. It's all intertwined as this way to just like, it's very culty. And she's pretty methodical about it and seems pretty knowledgeable. And so yeah, check her out.
Cool. All right, I think that does it for this week. Aloha.
Thanks for listening to Mikey and the Press Pass podcast. Consider subscribing. You can rate and review us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and pretty much anywhere where you can listen to podcasts. And you can also write us with any ideas, suggestions, or horrible burning criticism at mikeyandthepresspass@gmail.com. Thank you.